I was conversing with Dan earlier this week, and I said, Dan, we have accomplished a tremendous amount in the last 120 days. Dan came up probably early February to my office in North Palm. We sat down, we worked through the agreement, and he rolled this out. And the results that TCG have delivered to this point have been just spectacular in 120 days. So I just want to give everybody a round of applause here. You guys have come out of the chute really, really fast. And it's just exciting. So let me step back a minute and tell you what I'd like you to leave here with this morning. I'm going to cover three things. I want to cover what program changes AT&T has made, right? I'm going to talk a little bit about how we've opened up market for you to sell to. And then I'm going to talk about the investment that AT&T has made in the channel, right? We've made significant investment in the channel. It's going to continue to grow. And I'll touch a little bit on mobility because I think that's an area where we kind of stand out because you not only have your classic wireline services, your strategic services, but you also have access to a full line of mobility that you can sell, and I want you to really take advantage of that. Now, one thing I will say to open it up, so you've got the hat here. AT&T is like everywhere. When you look at the advertisements, you look at the stuff we do with the NFL, the NBA, et cetera, you've got the hats all before you. But it doesn't stop there. I'll show you this. Look, I've got my socks on today. Yeah, so we've got AT&T socks, we've got AT&T hats, but it's all part of the brand that you get to sell, right? And it is everywhere, and I want you to know that it's changing for you to take advantage of and make more money. So let me take you through the three high-level changes we've made. The first thing that we've really done is we've changed the program. So what's changed? As Dan mentioned, prior to this year, we haven't had a residual program, right? We haven't really had a program for Dan to work within. And there's been many conversations. I've known Dan in excess of 10 years that him and I have had about the program, and he needs things like this. He needs support. He needs lunch and learns. He needs co-op. And we haven't had it because we were kind of going in alone with a lot of direct relationships with subs. Well, we've changed that, and we created a program for masters across the United States, and you're part of that. That's why I'm here today. That's why the brand's been rolled out. And so what we've done is we've opened up the residual program. That's number one. We've done residuals, which we haven't had before this year. And Dan's one of the best. TCG's one of the best in the industry at managing residuals. It's in his wheelhouse. It's what he does. And so we're excited about all of the subs that he's bringing and us extending the brand to him. It's been great so far. It's continuing to grow month over month over month with what we've done. Very, very impressive. Inside of that program, we've also done renewals, right? Renewals are things that are available for you to sell. You can get your cash flow going inside of your business with renewals. We haven't had that at the level that we have it at today in the past. So that's very impressive, renewals. So we've restructured our program to cater to masters like Dan, and you're beginning to see that. And Dan, how's it working? How do you feel so?
So far, so great.
So far, so
really good.
Yeah, so far, so good. I'll take questions at the end. I just want to.
You'll get into how the renewals work and all that kind of
Yeah, we've got staff that'll come up, but we can touch on that. All right. The second area that I want to talk to you about is how we've opened up the market. Okay, AT&T historically has been very direct-centric, right? We have gone after it with direct salespeople. We have had call centers on it with direct employees. We've opened up more accounts now than we've ever opened up in the past. So when you look at the opportunity, it's no longer the majority of stuff I touch with AT&T is closed. It's handled by the direct team. No, we've opened it up. So I want to say approximately probably when you look at your upper mid all the way down the small, we're probably in the 70 percentile where these accounts are open to you. We made an announcement this week. We opened up some global accounts, some big retailers. So in all segments, whether it's small business, select mid-market, global accounts, local government ed, there's ways to work with AT&T instead of going in direct. So we've opened it up. The other key element of it is that the direct teams are allowed to work with partners, and this is a big shift. We've even made this larger. So one of the areas that we didn't want to have is a lot of channel conflict. So we're encouraging the direct sales organization to partner with SPs to cover their market, right? So what do I mean by that? Let's break it down a little bit. If I'm an account executive for AT&T, been there 10 years, I've got my module, I'm a corporate guy, I'm selling direct, what does this mean? That individual could have 300 accounts if they're working in the mid-market space, and they're incented, key point here, key takeaway, they're incented to use SPs to cover their market. They don't take a hit on it. They're not saying, oh no, you're going to lose this, lose that. They can process it themselves, they can sell it themselves, or if there's a relationship that you all have that you bring us, they can leverage that. So we're channel friendly, if you would. We're opening up more accounts, and then the direct team can partner with SPs to cover the market. Now, just how many AT&T folks are here in the room today? If we can just put our hands up. We got 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's at least 3 or 4 here today. There'll probably be more that'll come during lunch, but they're out there. Wendy can provide the list. You can co-team with them. Rather than compete with them, you can partner with them. So my first takeaway here is if you run into an opportunity and there's a direct account executive on the account, reach out to them and say, hey, I'm a solution provider. I'm under the TCG umbrella. Let's partner together. TCG, I will tell you, is getting a lot of exposure inside of AT&T because of the dealer base, the sub base that they're bringing. And so Dan has been on a constant roadshow meeting with executives at different parts in Dallas, up in New York City, Kevin, attending these events. So we're really elevating the status of TCG inside of AT&T, and you guys are going to get a lot of exposure, have gotten it, and it will continue. So this is all very exciting stuff that we see happening. And to boot, the revenue has been going up month over month over month. Very impressive. What we've accomplished in 120 days is just unbelievable. Real good. The third area I just want to touch on, we talked about the support, we talked about the program changes. Where are we investing the dollars that AT&T puts into the program? We know historically service delivery, I won't duck it, service delivery has not been a strong point for AT&T, right? We are investing in the Alliance program that I represent. I run for Florida and the Caribbean. We're investing in additional resources to handle the ordering and provisioning. We call it GOS, Global Order Sales Support. This group will take over the package, they'll issue the orders, they'll clear the obstacles, and we've rolled that out the first of the year to try to take some of that congestion and some of those pain points away from the masters or our normal SPs and make it easier. So global ordering sales support we are investing in. We are investing in service delivery, project managers. When you have project managers that can take it over and converse with the customers, that really helps improve the sales cycle, right? So project managers, global ordering sales support, and then finally, service delivery if needed, where we get into problems on escalations with repairs and things like that. So we've really hit 3 areas. We've changed the program for the masters, we've opened up market potential for you, and then we've invested in the program with additional resources. We have seen tremendous gains with the alternate channels program throughout the industry. How many of you have gone to, we're out in Las Vegas at Channel Partners? Can I just see a say? Okay, did you see us there at the key events? Did you see the sponsorship? We're a major sponsor at the Vegas event. I think it's in Philadelphia this year. We'll be there. So we kind of own that event when you looked at the presence that we brought to it. So we're really pushing out and exercising into these areas of distribution in order to take share market. I'm going to just touch on mobility because there's one other thing here that I'll share with you on how to be successful. Again, thank you for the quick start, the 120 days. It's been impressive, but there's more. I have dealers that work for me that all they do is mobility. If I try to bring them a wireline opportunity, they'll be like, Russ, no, I'm into IoT, Internet of Things. I want to sell gross ads. I want to sell mobility application revenue. And it's just phenomenal how I see that taking off as a business. Yes, you have the classic wireline SPs, the interconnects, the systems integrators. We're seeing great growth there, but I'm seeing a whole nother area just totally explode around mobility. And people are carving that out and making a tremendous living, growing their business, just simply focusing on mobility. and we have one of the best brands on mobility to do that with. Application revenue. I mean, every gross ad that they sell, they're overlaying an application. That's commission. That's opportunity. It just keeps growing the stuff that they can put on to where they become experts in mobility. IoT of things, right? I'll just share one application that an SP was working on, and they had pallets that they were shipping through the Caribbean. This SP went in, worked with the particular shipping company. They put a SIM card in every pallet. How many pallets, that shipping company had that they had a gross ad on just kept growing exponentially over and over and over again. The shipping company wanted to track those pallets real time. So that's an example of an IoT application where they buried a SIM card inside that pallet and then did shipping. All revenue for the SP and the applications on top of that. So in summary, we've got a great program catering to masters like Dan. Dan's one of the best in the industry, well respected. 1990, I've known Dan in excess of 10 years. Great quality firm. We finally have something for Dan to work with AT&T on. We've opened up more market share for you in summary. We've invested in the channel with GOS and service delivery support. So all just a tremendous amount of momentum that we've got going on here, and we're seeing the revenue grow. I'll pause for a minute and take some questions. We do have staff here that can get into more of the detailed product offerings. But let me stop there and just say one thank you, and then what kind of questions do you have out there? I'll take a few. Yes, sir.
If you're going to be investing in these services or support, et cetera,
yes.
where are they going to be located?
As far as the actual resources?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have GOS, you have major centers like in Atlanta, you have some in Dallas. So you have two types of it. It just depends on.
So it is going to be based in the U.S.?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's based in the U.S. We have a big, we're a big advocate of investing here in the U.S. and keeping, jobs on the local turf here. Yes. I mean, like most companies, you have some functions that get outsourced, but when we look at the Alliance channel, I would tell you that the project managers, the service delivery, those resources are primarily based here in the U.S. Good question. There was one more. What else yes, sir.
So, I presume there are still protected accounts?
Yes, there are still a few protected.
And if it is protected, is there a process for unprotecting it?
Yes, there is. That's a great question. Okay, so here it is, and this is important. I commented about how approximately 70% of your mid and small business market is open. I commented about how we've opened up global accounts. So the question becomes this: if you come across an account and it's closed, what's the process, right? What's the process for that? Go ahead, sir. Yeah. Okay. All right, so a couple questions that came up here. First is, if an account is closed, does that mean you can't, request it? This may be somebody that you've had a long-term relationship. Maybe you've sold the incumbent network in there. Who knows? You've got a relationship. You check the system. It shows closed. What do you do? Okay. You would take it back through Dan, and Dan's back office has the ability to request what's called an NSP, Named Solution Provider Request. You also have the ability to seek deal registration, right? So two options: NSP, Named Solution Provider, or deal registration. The quickest way would be to put in a deal registration, and you'd submit it, and if in fact there's no existing competitive proposals on the table, right, you would be granted the ability to sell that opportunity even if it's closed. So they're going to go back and research our funnels, our opportunity, and then find out, do we have a proposal? If the direct account team's been working it for a year, it's not going to happen. If you've truly found something that's new and your relationship is going to bring that business to AT&T, we want that business. And so that's why we created the deal registration, and that is in fact new for 2018. So the second question is, how do we know, where do we go? There was somebody else who asked that. You would take it back through the TCG back office, and they have access to the systems to check and see who the owning account team is. But I would tell you, if it's closed, here would be my suggestion on how to proceed. If they find out that it's closed, I would quickly go for a deal registration, get that answer. If that answer is approved, you've got the green light, go and sell it and you'll be paid on it. If it's rejected, then go through the named solution provider process, which is where it's a little bit of a business case that says, here's the relationship. This is somebody that I've known for 10 years. I've sold them this. I can easily, quickly get this done. We put that down. We send it over to the direct team. The direct team is going to review that, and they'll make the call on it. All right, so the question is, define a closed account. That's an account that is not available for SPs to sell. All right, so good question. I get on a roll here talking. We talk in terms of AT&T about AT&T only, but if you want to get in sync with the real lingo, it's AT&T only or it's an opportunity account. That's how we break it down. But very good question. All right, I want to stay on par with time because I've got some more staff coming up. Again, in just closing, I'll thank you. We've got a great start here. You're aligned with a great company like TCG, impressive stuff. We're seeing the revenue tick up month over month. TCG's got a lot of momentum going inside of AT&T, and they class operation the way that they're running things. So I want to thank Dan, and I thank all of you, and just keep it going. Appreciate it.
I have 7 sellers underneath me that handle all of the small biz accounts in those zip codes. All my sellers are zip code based. So if you have a customer that doesn't have a dedicated account manager through our select team, they'll roll to one of my sellers. Each of my sellers is anywhere from 10 to 30,000 accounts in those zip codes. So those are prime accounts for us to partner with. If you want to engage any of my sellers, you can go through Wendy Swanson or anybody at TCG. I can give out my information. Feel free to reach out to me directly, and I can get my guys involved as well. Chances are, if it's Palm Beach County or Broward County, it comes to me. I'm going to go over some of our initial offerings as far as data and voice. Obviously, we can go into multi-site customers. We can schedule training to go over that, point-to-point network, but basic entry-level data for your clients, small-based solutions, single-site customers. First product is our AT&T Business Fiber. If you've had customers that have had AT&T in the past, chances are there'd be UVerse customers or AT&T Internet customers. Now that portfolio includes speeds up to 1 gig, asymmetrical or symmetrical. This product came about because we couldn't compete with Comcast. Our AT&T Internet solution was maxed out at 100 megs, asymmetrical. So we needed something that were in those multi-tenant buildings, single-site customers, where we could compete. We couldn't compete with Comcast at 300 megs at a $200-300 a month price point. It was either our up to 100 megs on UVerse, or it was our dedicated internet, where we're looking back then, 200 megs would have been $2,000-3,000 a month. So we're missing that market share. So we developed the AT&T Business Fiber as a solution to combat the cable companies. So as you can see, speed-wise, we're looking all the way up to 1 gig symmetrical. This is a best effort service. Standard AT&T gigapower modem. This isn't a managed solution. This is a best effort solution. All of our promotions, as far as incentives, as well as for the customers, are gift card based, free install based. This is a no contract solution. It's a great backup solution for your customers if they have an enterprise circuit now for their data. You can add AT&T VoIP phone to the service, up to 6 lines per router. So keep that in mind. Yep, go ahead. This is AT&T Business Fiber. It's best effort. So this isn't our dedicated internet solution. I'll cover that next. Okay. So this would be a direct replacement to your Comcast customers or any other cable provider customer. Install on this service is 7 to 10 days. Very, very quick compared to our dedicated fiber, which could be anywhere from 30 up to 120 days. No contract. Your customers can install this. In 4 months, they don't like it. They have their $500 Amazon gift card. Cancel the service, have a good day. Most of my customers keep this service. Install is great, service is great.
I would imagine that this is only lit buildings as well, but not the
So there's 2 different versions. There's fiber to the building, multi-tenant buildings where this is available. There's also our GPON locations, which formerly was Gigapower on the consumer side. We've turned that into single tenant buildings. So your standalone customers are also available for this. Obviously, it's not everywhere, but our goal is to grow that. For 2018, we have a fiber near promotion where if you have a customer that's in a multi-tenant building that you sell them AT&T dedicated internet and this service is not available, we'll light that whole building up as soon as it's installed. We'll also, if it's within 500 feet to 1,000 feet, we'll make that surrounding plaza also available for the service. So keep that in mind. So your property managers that handle those buildings, if they purchase a dedicated circuit for their management, 10 megs, 20 megs, it doesn't matter, we'll light that whole building up for a gig. Any other questions on this product?
This product pays 150% bonus too, by the way. Figured I'd throw that in.
So if any of your customers have had this in the past, we previously had a limitation of 2,000 sessions on each router. As of April of this year, that has increased to 8,000 sessions. So an issue we would have is we'd sell this product to, let's say, a call center with 100 employees, all on the web with multiple sessions opened in a web browser. At 2,000, everything is shut down. There's no access to anything. That is now 8,000 sessions. So keep that in mind.
So that was what, for like IP flow or something?
Simultaneous windows are open. So you have 2,000 browser windows open on that network.
The internal route, I mean the external router to the internet at the customer
Correct.
site can handle only 2,000, now can handle
8,000.
I understand what you're saying now. Okay, cool.
Anything else on this? This is our AT&T dedicated internet. This is our bread and butter. This is our enterprise internet service. Our guaranteed service levels agreement are on this specific product. Speeds anywhere from 10 megs up to a gig are listed and pricing is listed. We can go up to 100 gigs if your customer needs that. Obviously with this kind of service, it's a 24 or 36 month contract. 36 months will obviously pay you guys out a little bit more. But where she was saying, install time, 30 to 120 days will all depend on the site survey. Obviously you can do a facilities check in your internal systems and see what kind of tier the address is. If you have a customer in one of those lit buildings, they can have their service in about 30 to 45 days, just because we have to go through site surveys, see if there's construction involved, so on and so forth. The farther you are away from our eMUX, the longer the install will be.
Is this fiber delivered on fiber?
Yes. So with this service, industry-leading SLAs on availability, jitter, latency, primary and secondary IP addresses, static IPs are all inclusive. This can be ordered managed or unmanaged if the customer wants to use their own router. We can also order this unmanaged with our FlexWare solution, which is our SD-WAN solution. Go ahead.
Are these slides available to us?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep. Pricing on the left includes managed router. You're looking at about a $30 to $60 decrease if they choose to go unmanaged. This is a perfect sub for any customers that want to do managed firewall with AT&T, cloud, colo, hosting. We have class of service available on this. There's no class of service available on our AT&T Business Fiber or UVer services. And then we also add on our voice to this, so that's our IP Flex service. The pricing behind is our AT&T voice bundle. If you've sold our services in the past or have customers with it, last year would have been the fiber broadband bundle. Difference this year, we added more call path options built in to give our customers a better price instead of paying per call path, as well as our SLAs are now on this product and availability, whereas last year it was a different SLA.
Guys, 10 meg and 10 call channels for $4.99. That used to be like the price of a Dynamic T1. So you get a Metro Ethernet connection and 10 call paths for $499.
This does have an SLA now?
Yes,
Different from your standard dedicated fiber SLA?
it's the exact same, whereas last year it varied quite a bit.
Will AT&T absorb a percentage of construction costs if it's necessary, or how does that work?
We'll cover, usually the first 10,000 is covered by AT&T. Anything extra on top of that would be billed to the customer. Essentially, sign a contract, place an order, site survey gets done, give the customer the bill, hey, it's 14 grand for this. At that point, if the customer decides, no, I don't want to move forward, contract is canceled, we're good. In the year and a half that I've been that I was a direct seller selling this product, I had one customer with construction charges, and that was out west in Wellington. It's extremely rare. Vlad? So depending on the address, if you do like ASE on demand or other products, we have entrance facilities available, or tier 1 addresses. We can do entrance facility and cover those charges, and even cover inside wiring as well. So there are different promotions we can use internally to see what we can get for the customer. It's also, if you look at our on-demand service of our AT&T dedicated internet, we cover entrance facilities for that as well. Another key item that's changed for 2018, if you've sold this service in the past or if your customers have purchased it in the past, are enhanced features on our voice. As of 2018, we can now order our enhanced features at the time of the order on SIP or PRI handoff. In the past, a customer would have to wait for install in order to add enhanced features for call forwarding. Now we include all those features on those 2 handoffs, as well as our IP Flex mobile application. So if you have a customer who adds enhanced features and they're leaving the office to go to lunch, we can forward those calls to the IP Flex remote app on their iPhone or Android phone and keep that call with them. So some of the, a key hosted feature that's built into our IP Flex solution. So IP Flex in general is our voice service on the router, but the IP Flex mobile app is an app on your phone. So you could basically, on your phone, I'm leaving the office, activate call forwarding, and it forwards all your calls to your phone, and you can also make and receive calls from there as well, as if you're still in your office. Yeah. If you do enhanced features, you can do the whole block. Let's say hurricane's coming through, forward everything through. That'd be an enhanced feature with call forwarding. And you can manage that all through the IP Flex portal. I'm gonna pass off to Keith Little. He's gonna handle our cybersecurity offerings.
AT&T has invested a lot of money this year outside of the acquisition and mergers that we're doing in our cybersecurity portfolio. Almost every day on every call we're on is we're getting introduced to a new cybersecurity product that we have available to our customers. We're probably up to about 50, 60 different types of cybersecurity products. I just want to go over a real high level of what we can offer on the more popular levels in the small to mid-size that we can bundle in with other offerings or sell a la carte to each individual customer that we have. We have DDoS, we have what we call reactive DDoS available to customers. This is, as opposed to our proactive that's about $2,000 a month, this reactive DDoS is $98, excuse me. And what it does is the customer has to alert us, and from that point, once they alert us that they're under a DDoS attack, we take over and mitigate the occurrence. That's only $98, so we've been selling a lot of that to customers down here, especially customers that are putting their voice on their internet circuits, their dedicated internet circuits. The second product we have is Cloud Web Security Service. This little product, if you're familiar with Zscaler, this is a scaled down version of Zscaler. It offers remote access for web control for customers internally and externally. If if an IT person wants to manage access or limit access or just scrub websites for malware, this product's $1.80 per user. So it fits into the small business arena as well. And this can even get as granular as if you want to give your employees access to Facebook, you can give them access to it, but you can lock down them posting or uploading any videos onto Facebook. So it has a lot of features and benefits to it for only $1.80 a month per user. So that's a pretty popular product that we're selling today as well. In addition to that, premise-based firewall. This used to be AT&T's only offering as far as security a couple years ago was firewall service. The good thing is for us and for most of us in this room, our low-end product or entry level used to be about $1,200. Well, it's now $180 a month for a managed firewall. That particular model is a Fortinet. In addition, we do go up market. We do offer Checkpoint. Cisco, obviously, and various other carriers, but the Fortinet seems to taken over the mid to small business area, anywhere from $180 a month up to $500, depending on what features and functionality they want. We also have another inexpensive offering called Secure Email Gateway. This is actually what AT&T uses internally to our network. This is email filter. It comes again with a lot of bells and whistles, but it's it's $1.70 per user. So if you get in between the secure email gateway and cloud web security, that's less than $5 per user. You can lock down their web surfing, malware on a website and scrub their emails for less than $5 a month per user. So we've been selling that bundle together pretty successfully as well. Network-based firewall, anybody in the MPLS environment where you have multiple sites, we do sell cloud web, cloud internet for our multiple site customers, and this is basically a firewall in the network in the cloud that the customer has full access to. It's their firewall. We do not limit policies whatsoever, so they upload 100% of what they want to have their firewall function in a multi-tenant or multi-site environment. Any questions so far? Yes, sir.
For the firewall, is it the ADE or the 100
I'm sorry?
What device are you putting out to the customer's site?
The low end I need to get back to you on that because we're changing. We're constantly updating that, but I can get you the latest models that we have available. Unless, Wendy, do you know offhand?
I don't know.
Okay. I can find out for you, probably go online here in a second.
Is that $198 per site?
Yes, it's per box. If you have multiple sites, it's per box per site. Okay. In addition, we also offer a wide variety of vulnerability scans and penetration testing. We've had a lot of success with this, obviously, in the financial markets. Even if we're not the primary provider of this service, we have a lot of customers that are interested in getting a secondary or a check-to-checker type environment. So we've had a lot of success with the penetration in the small to mid-size. This can go, I've seen it as low as, it's IP driven, but it's anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per incidence. So we're shooting for that small to mid-size arena. We also have At&T Security Consulting. If you have a customer that has no security portfolio or no posture whatsoever, limited posture, we can bring a team in and help the customer develop, and from scratch, from square one, develop a security environment plans and rules for a customer. We can do that on an individual basis, one time, or have it ongoing as a consultant basis. In addition to these, if your customer says no to all of these from At&T, we have another option that is becoming more prevalent, unfortunately. We have incident remediation or threat remediation, where if something happens where we have an event, malware per se, or something like what happened to Atlanta that shut down a lot of the public networks, we do have At&T can come in post-incident and remediate the situation. I just want to give you guys a heads up. These are big ticket items. They're not cheap, they're expensive, but you guys get paid very well on them. And obviously we don't want to root for our customers to have an incident, but we can fix it if needed. Okay, any questions about that? Okay. Moving forward, just kind of on a price bundle, as I mentioned before on the bundle side, those 4 or 5 products that I mentioned that we can bundle in together, cloud web security, DDoS, premise-based firewall, secure email gateway, you can actually bundle those all in to a 20 meg circuit, and you're looking at about $1,600 per month for internet and all the security loaded in as well. So that's the price point we're looking at right now for your customers. Okay? In addition to that, this is the full portfolio, or a big portion of the portfolio that At&T offers. Obviously, we do network. That's why we're here for the most part. Mobility, Internet of Things, as Russ mentioned earlier. Voice and collaboration. This is our hosted voice. We have a hosted voice solution as well. Cybersecurity, some of the services that I went over. We also offer co-location facilities. We have one located right across the Mall of the Americas. And actually now we have gained access to Equinix, the old NAP. You can sell directly in there as well. And of course, DirecTV for business. Any questions regarding any of these or anything that I mentioned before? I did find out, this is probably new to some of the AT&T folks, we are actually, going into hurricane season, we sell generators. I just found that out the other day. So we're in that business too. Sell generators. Yes, sir.
Like the big industrial generator?
Yes, yes. I literally found out about it like 3 days ago. I don't have any specifics on it, but we can do it.
I was just gonna, is that commissionable?
I don't know. I'll let you know more. I just literally just found out about it. But it's an option. I was the same way as you. I was like, well, rent, lease, buy, what? Yes.
The DirecTV part, is there like any sort of bundle, you know, it's like, I don't know if you have an ABF client or something like that that wants TV service. Basically like something similar to Comcast where.
Sure.
Is there a bundle?
Jesse, in my size market, I don't get into DirecTV as much. Jesse, do you know?
We do bundle either all, in all size modifiers, so if you have a customer still has ties, we can use that to get down to $40 a line when there's open offices. That's the only specific bundle that we use.
The TV portion, probably, yes, they're working on that. DirecTV.
Any other questions? Thanks, guys.
It's great value to have Russ Kane here to give us an overview of the program and our technical resources. Jesse and Keith, thank you very much. And I just want to reiterate that, you know, you guys are part of the AT&T family. This year, the direct teams have just embraced the channel. So I encourage you to network into those relationships. They are certainly encouraged to network outward to you guys. We also have Terry McDonald, who has joined us here. I want to introduce Terry. He oversees Southeast region for the direct select teams at KeithWorks and supports. All right, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Terry. And Vlad is here also with AT&T. He's a great resource to partner with as well. So again, thank you, and we look forward to growing the business further with TCG. And quick photo for the AT&T team.